So now we got to take it to a world stage. And Kepha took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, "Be kind to yourself. This shall not be to you." But he turned and said to Kepha, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me, for your thoughts are not those of Elohim, but those of men." Right? Let's remember that. Where's the other book at? Something right. Praise Elohim. We do this with one hand. We do this whatever way we got to do it to get this message out. Here's the pen at. Take a second here till we get people in here coming in live. Give me a second, everybody. Just a pen at. We just gonna do what we gotta do because the devil is a liar. Okay, maybe God doesn't want me to use a pen right now. So let's go ahead and get right into the word. It's a pen in here somewhere because I was using it. It's a pen in this Bible. So here's a pen right here. Bam. We got one. So we're gonna go over a lot of things because I want to save this broadcast. We have 666, right? 6 in Latin is sex. Okay, we have that right there, right? We have Illuminati, right? 1776. Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt started the Illuminati in 1776. We got that. We got 666, right? We have the Pope, the Vicar of Christ, right? What else do we have? The Antichrist. So we have 666, 6 in Latin is sex. So we have 666, right? For the Satan's number in Latin, right? We have Illuminati, which Illuminati in Latin is Lucifer, right? What do we have here? Skull and bones. Masons, right? George Bush, John Kerry. I don't know why these two keep coming up. And then we have 09/11/2001, right? Let's put a cross by that. For God bless those people for that day, right? That were martyrs. Says a man should eat from the gospel. We fasting right now. Skull and Bones Mason, George. Okay, so where are we getting at with this? Where's my other phone at? I literally just had it. Dropping my ink pen. I can't seem to find my other phone. Give me a second. Bear with me. I literally just had my other phone right there with it. It's tricking the devil. Well, for some strange reason, I can't find my other phone. I have to put this live on hold. Give me 1 second. Literally just had it. Here it is. This is crazy. I get banned off the TikTok live, right? So now I'm subjected to YouTube live, which I don't know how hard it is to get, if I could just reach one. All right. Foundation of the Illuminati. At a time, however, when there was no end of making game of the abusing secret societies, I plan to make use of this human foible for a real and worthy goal for the benefit of people. I wish to do what the heads of the ecclesiastical and secular authorities ought to have done by virtue of their offices. This is what Adam Weishaupt said, right? Right? So the Illuminati was started on May 1st, 1776. Let's write that down. Now we cooking with oil. Once I can't find my pen. I have ADHD, y'all, so this is, right? May 1st, 1776, right? The Illuminati, Latin, right? But Lucifer, right? Was started. Okay. Now we're talking about on this side, John Kerry versus George Bush for the presidential debates. Let's look that up. This is Adam Weishaupt right here, right? Founder of the Bavarian Illuminati, right? Now let's look. Let's look again here. George Bush and John Kerry presidential debates. Here we go right here. Look at this. The debates, right? Both of these men were Freemasons, right? They both were part of the Skull and Bones. And you notice something about them? They have on red, white, and blue, the colors of the flag and the three colors of Freemasonry, right? Red, white, and blue. John Kerry and George Bush, Skull and Bones Masons. There we go. Where's the picture of them together? Look at this. Skull and Bones. Let's go to this website and see what they got. Look at the ties. Look at the colors. Red, white, and blue. His dad was in it. Well, let's see what this says. The Skull and Bones is an graduate secret student society at Yale. It is so secret that during the 2004 presidential campaign, Tim Russert, the host of the NBC Sunday Morning News show, met the press, asked both President George W. Bush and Democratic candidate John Kerry about their membership in Skull and Bones. Bush replied, "It's so secret, we can't talk about it." Kerry said, "You trying to get rid of me here?" Skull and Bones is also known as the Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death, right? Skull and Bones, right? The Brotherhood of Death, right? And we know death is the absolute truth, right? Friedrich Nietzsche, right? Let's look that up, because I want to be on point about this. Friedrich Nietzsche, Beyond Good and Evil. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote a book called Beyond Good and Evil, right? It says Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche critiques traditional morality, philosophy, and religion, arguing that good and evil are not absolute, but are human constructs, often stemming from a slave morality that devalues the strong. The book calls for a revaluation of all values, urging individuals to move beyond conventional morality, to embrace their will to power and create their own values, challenging the dogmatic premises of past philosophers and advocating for a life-affirming perspectival approach to truth, right? So we have this guy right here, right? Friedrich Nietzsche, Beyond Good and Evil. So let's spell that. Where's his name at? It's spelled pretty weird. Hold on, I don't want to lose the screen. Friedrich Nietzsche, right? Friedrich Nietzsche. Beyond Good and Evil, right? It's a simple premise that Elohim has me keep going over. Beyond Good and Evil, Friedrich Nietzsche, right? The Brotherhood of Death, right? Skull and Bones, right? What did they say he said? What they asked the presidential candidates? I'm going to screenshot that. Wait, let's go back. Look at this. Let's read this again. I'm going to screenshot this. It's so secret we can't talk about it, Bush replied. This is their Skull and Bones, right? So 9/11, 2001, right? If you look at the movie Final Destination, right? The movie Final Destination, movie, right? When they show the shadow of the planes, right? The planes headed for the Twin Towers, right? The shadow of the plane, right? Shadow of the plane. It looks like a demon, right? The shadow of the plane looks like a demon, right? How many people have shadows over their lives that are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger? So we went over a couple things. Let's go over another one of their numbers. 1.666 repeating, the golden ratio, right? That they use, right? What numbers you see in here? 6 again. What does the Bible say? He who has knowledge, let him calculate. So this golden ratio is equivalent to this date, right? 11/6/2025. The government was shut down. Government shut down. And in Pennsylvania, where I'm at, right, we got no TANF, no stamps, no nothing, right? Because the government was shut down because they were setting up their what? Golden ratio, right? They were setting up their money system, right? My live was so effective in what I was saying that they shut me down on TikTok, right? They shut me down, right? So they set up their Illuminati number system. We'll keep going over this. This would be it for now. Shalom, and may Jesus be with you. Yeshua HaMashiach. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the set apart Spirit. Amen. Whew.